Hey, what's going on, everyone? Matt here from the Matt Film Show. If you guys are new to this channel, I talk about movies, TV shows, update on movies, anything that involves movies. And if that's what you like, make sure you guys leave this video a thumbs up, subscribe if you guys like, and let's get into the video. And in today's video, I'm gonna be talking about the best my top best um, actors in comic book movies who I think were the perfect castings in the comic book movies. So let's get started. First one I want to talk about, this ain't in no order. I was just thinking on top of my head, and I wrote these down, and I wrote this down thinking in my head, and this is what I have. There's obviously more, but there's a lot of them that I can't think of at the top of my head. And if there's someone that I did not mention and is your favorite, let me know in the comments below. Who do you think who do you think is your perfect casting in the comic book movie? Let me know in the comments below. Let me know what you guys think about my list, and let me know if you guys could share about your list, and my list may be different than your list. Who knows? So let's get into it. First one I want to talk about is Robert Downey Jr. as Tony Stark, Iron Man. Obviously, I love Iron Man. I grew up with the MCU. Iron Man was the first film in the MCU. I grew up with Robert Downey Jr. as Tony Stark, as Iron Man. And throughout all the journey with Iron Man, throughout the Avengers films, his solo films, in Civil War, I was there following his journey. And obviously, when he died in Avengers Endgame, uh, I was sad because he was a character that I grew up with. You know what I mean? And when I grew up with Iron Man, watching all this all these movies with him, and the Avengers films and all that, I felt like I was growing up with him. You know, throughout all these months, throughout all these films, I felt like I was growing up with him. You know what I mean? And he still holds a special place in my heart. You know what I mean? And unfortunately, I got sad when Iron Man died, but Robert Downey Jr. was born to play Iron Man. He is Iron Man. Another one I want to talk about is Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. Hugh Jackman was born to play Wolverine. He played him in 2000's X-Men, and he came back in X-Men Days of Future Past. He had his 3 solo films: Origins Wolverine, The Wolverine, and his last time playing Wolverine was in Logan, where he played him for 17 years. And now he will make his return as Logan, as Wolverine, in the upcoming Marvel Studios film Deadpool 3 with Ryan Reynolds. Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman will be teaming up as Wolverine and Deadpool, a Wolverine and Deadpool team-up film. So I'm so excited for that film to happen, and I'm so excited to see Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman on screen together in the same movie. It'll be great to see. Another one is obviously my favorite Spider-Man. If you guys know me, you guys know who my favorite Peter Parker Spider-Man is, and that is Andrew Garfield. I love Andrew Garfield's performance as Spider-Man. I love the Amazing Spider-Man. I love the Amazing Spider-Man franchise, and I also loved his return in No Way Home. I screamed, I jumped up and down when he showed up the first time he showed up in No Way Home. I was so excited, to see him come back, and just him interacting with Tom Holland, with Tobey Maguire, was so great to see as well. And it was fun seeing him again. And Sony, if you're watching this, someone from Sony, please make The Amazing Spider-Man 3. Please make TASM 3 or The Amazing Spider-Man 3. Let's make it happen, guys. Another one I want to talk about is Charlie Cox as Matt Murdock, Daredevil. Charlie Cox made his MCU debut in Spider-Man No Way Home. He also appeared in She-Hulk. He's also showing up in Echo, and he will also have his own series on Disney Plus in 2024, I believe, called Daredevil Born Again, and will be 18 episodes. So they're really giving the spotlight to Daredevil for 18 episodes. Usually the Marvel shows on Disney Plus has 6, sometimes 9 or 11, right? But this one is having 18. Charlie Cox played Daredevil in the Netflix series, in the 3 seasons of Daredevil, and in the Defender series. Now he made his way into the MCU, playing Daredevil, Matt Murdock. Another one I want to talk about is Scarlett Johansson as Natasha Romanoff, the Black Widow. She made her debut in Marvel Studios' Iron Man 2, and obviously had her own solo film in Black Widow. I loved the character. I loved how she performed the Black Widow. She was a perfect choice, and she was born to play these characters. A lot of these actors were born to play these characters, honestly. And the Black Widow movie, not a huge fan of it, to be honest with you. I was not a fan of Black Widow, the movie. I kind of felt like that movie was a movie that should have been released in like phase one or something, you know what I mean? It felt like a movie that was a little too late, you know what I mean? It felt too late in there to come out, and um, now, but it happened, you know, there's nothing we can do. It was made, it was released, so there's nothing we can do. Black Widow movie was made, but I do love the character, and I do love how Scarlett Johansson portrayed that character. Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool, we just talked about Deadpool, but Ryan Reynolds was born to play Deadpool, or Wade Wilson at slash Deadpool. He had his 2 solo films. He made his debut in X-Men Origins Wolverine, but we don't talk about that version of Deadpool, and we don't talk about that movie. That movie was so bad. But now he's making his way into the MCU in Deadpool 3, being the first ever rated R movie in the MCU, first Marvel movie to be rated R under the Disney banner. So that's very interesting to see how Disney agreed to have Deadpool 3 rated R. So I want to see how Disney tackles the rated R content in Deadpool 3. Obviously, like I explained earlier, right now, he's going to have team up film with Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. So Deadpool and Wolverine team up film. So that is great to see. The other one I want to talk about is Tom Holland as Peter Parker Spider-Man. Tom Holland made his first debut as Spider-Man in Captain America Civil War. He just finished up his trilogy 2 years ago with Spider-Man No Way Home. I just talked about that movie right now. He's also getting a 4th film as well. It's in the making. And he had the 3 solo films, and he was in Civil War, Infinity War, and I could guarantee that he will appear in either Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars, or either one of those 2. I could guarantee that he will show up in that film. And just the portrayal of Tom Holland, he was, you know what I mean, he portrays him so well. The only thing I dislike about the character of Spider-Man, his iteration, is like a Iron Man technology, how they handled him trying to become the next Iron Man. I do not like that, and that's why I like the ending of No Way Home, where he becomes more of a street level and he becomes Spider-Man, and that's what Spider-Man should be, not him being Iron Man and all the technology. That's not what I like, but I'm very glad that during the street level version of Spider-Man now in the next movie. Chris Hemsworth as Thor. I love the first Thor movie. Thor blew my mind. Seeing Asgard, the colorfulness of Asgard was so great. I was not a huge fan of Thor the Dark World. I don't talk about that movie. I loved his performance in The Avengers, him interacting with Chris Evans and Robert Downey Jr., and Mark Ruffalo, and Scarlett Johansson, Jeremy Renner, Tom Hiddleston. It was so great to see him interact with all those beautiful castmates, right? And I was not a huge fan of, like I said, Thor the Dark World, and as well as Thor Love and Thunder, the 4th Thor film. I don't like that movie. I don't talk about that movie either. It's not my cup of tea. The other one I want to talk about was Jason Momoa as Arthur Curry, Aquaman. He made his debut in Batman vs. Superman, a brief appearance, just a little bit. Then he was in Aquaman and Zack Snyder's Justice League. And he's also going to appear in Aquaman The Lost Kingdom, which comes out this December. And who knows if he's going to continue playing the character or not with the changes going on with this DC. I do not know who's staying, who's not. But I do love him as Aquaman, and if he's going to stay, I'll be happy. If he doesn't, then it is what it is, you know what I mean? I can't get mad. No one could get mad if he does not stay as Aquaman. So I do love Jason Momoa as Aquaman. Next thing I want to talk about is Chris Pratt as Peter Quill as Star-Lord, who made his debut in Guardians of the Galaxy in 2014's the first film. He was in Avengers Infinity War. He also appeared in Endgame, in the Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special, which was released last November during the holidays on Disney+. They're also making Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. He also appeared, before the holiday special, he appeared in Thor Love and Thunder. He was only there for like the first 3 minutes. So to me, personally, the Guardians of the Galaxy being in Thor Love and Thunder were completely useless. So I do not know what was the purpose for them being there. I do not know why they were there in the first place. They were completely useless. Talking about the Guardians of the Galaxy, Dave Bautista as Drax. He played him in Guardians of the Galaxy. And he was in both Avengers films, the Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special and the first 2 Guardians. He will He will retire from playing the role in the third film. Dave Bautista announced that he will be retiring from Drax. He said his goodbyes to Drax. So Disney, Marvel Studios, Kevin Feige, James Gunn, please do not kill Drax. I have a feeling they're going to kill off Drax because this is Dave Bautista's last time. I hope they don't. Who knows what happens, but hopefully they don't kill off Drax. But at the time, with him being 10 years of him being Drax, I think he did such an amazing job, and he doesn't want to be Drax. I understand. It is what it is. You know what I mean? There's nothing we can do. Zoe Zendaya as Gamora. She was perfect to play Gamora. Perfect choice that they went with the first Guardians of the Galaxy. Like I said, she was also in Infinity War. She was also in Endgame, in Volume 2. She was in the holiday special, but she's going to be in Volume 3. So her performance as Gamora is very great. I love her. She's a great actress, and can't wait to see more of her in the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Another one I want to talk about is Patrick Stewart as Professor X. He played all the way in 2000's X-Men, as well as same debut as Hugh Jackman as Wolverine, and his last time playing the character was in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, as he came throughout the multiverse. So it's great to see him. There's been rumors, and he's kind of been hinting, kind of teased that he might possibly return in Deadpool 3. So that would be great to see, Hugh Jackman, Patrick Stewart, and Ryan Reynolds all in the same movie. Who does not want to see that? I'll be down for it as well. Another one I want to talk about is Ian McKellen as Eric Lyncher, Magneto. Ian McKellen played Magneto in the original 3 X-Men. He also came back in X-Men Days of Future Past. It was kind of like a time travel movie, or like not really a multiverse. It was kind of more like a time travel movie. You might call it a multiverse movie, but in reality, it's a time travel movie. And his performance as Magneto, as Eric Lyncher, was so great. I love his performance as Magneto. Another one I want to talk about is James McAvoy as Professor X. His performance as Professor X is so great. I love X-Men First Class. That's when he first appeared. Days of Future Past, I just talked about. I love that movie. Apocalypse was not good. And Dark Phoenix wasn't great either. So it is what it is. Another one I want to talk about is Michael Fassbender as Magneto. I talked about Ian McKellen. Now I'm talking about Michael Fassbender, who made his first appearance in X-Men First Class. He was in Days of Future Past, Apocalypse, which wasn't that great, and Dark Phoenix. He did a perfect job, and he was a perfect casting in my opinion. Then I want to talk about is Heath Ledger Joker, who played him in The Dark Knight. Rest in peace to Heath Ledger. His performance as Joker is one of the best Joker performances in my opinion. The way he portrayed, the way he acted as Joker is so phenomenal, so great. So I love him as Joker. Loved him as Joker, I should say. Another one I want to talk about is Henry Cavill as Superman, or Clark Kent Superman. Who does not love Superman? Superman is one of my favorite superheroes of all time. He is perfect casting as Superman. I have been very disappointed how they handled Superman recently in the films. Very disrespectful of the character when Superman is the face, the godfather, in my opinion, of all superheroes, right? And he should be front and center in almost all the movies, but he wasn't. I'm also disappointed on the way they handled him in Black Adam. How he returned for Black Adam. They agreed. They told him that he could say to announce his return. He announced that whenever they do Superman, it's going to be Henry Cavill. I was so excited. Everybody was so excited. Everybody knows Henry Cavill Superman, and I was so hyped for it. I was down for it. More Superman. At least it's Henry Cavill. I'm all down for it. And a couple months later, they announced that they were going to reboot the DC universe, and Henry Cavill had to come a weeks later to announce he's no longer Superman. So I think that's kind of messed up in the sense where they gave us, oh yeah, you're coming back as Superman, woohoo, and now, you're not going to be Superman anymore. So I kind of felt like that's kind of messed up on the studios. Warner Bros. Discovery did such a bad job, and DC, for doing that for him. I do not know why they did that to him, right? But that is not okay, and they should not have done that. So I feel bad for them treating Henry Cavill the way they treated him like that. Another one I want to talk about is Tom Hiddleston as Loki. We all love Loki, and Tom Hiddleston portrays Loki so well. He first appeared in Thor. Obviously, we saw him in the show in Loki series, the series on Disney Plus. His show is getting a second season this year, and who doesn't love Loki? Like, there's nothing more I can say. Is we all love Loki. One is J.K. Simmons as J. Jonah Jameson. He owns somewhere. He is J. Jonah Jameson. He played him in the original 3 Spider-Man movies. He also appeared in Spider-Man Far From Home in the post-credit scene, and it was not a lot, little bit in Spider-Man No Way Home, and it was great to see him back in those 2 films in the post-credit scene and in No Way Home. His portrayal as J. Jonah Jameson is perfectly identical to how he is in the cartoons, and he is J. Jonah Jameson. Like, the way he portrays him is what he should be in, and I enjoyed how his performance. Hopefully, J.K. Simmons returns in the new Spider-Man trilogy with Tom Holland. Another one is Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn. Harley Quinn is a very great is a character that I love, I enjoy, and seeing her in Suicide Squad was great. You know what I mean? Suicide Squad in 2016, Suicide Squad I should say, because there's 2 different ones. Wasn't good. You know what I mean? It's not great. It's not the best, but I think the best thing out of it was Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn. She also appeared in Birds of Prey, which is really a Harley Quinn movie. She had her own movie, which wasn't that good, but I loved her in it. And I also loved her in DC's or James Gunn's The Suicide Squad. So I do not know if she's going to have a feature in the new DC with the new leadership under Peter Safran and James Gunn. But if she's no longer Harley Quinn, I understand and I respect that decision. She portrayed her very well, and she was born to play Harley Quinn. And if someone else plays Harley Quinn, it is what it is. I can't get mad, and no one cannot get mad. It's not our fault. Another one is Benedict Cumberbatch as Dr. Stephen Strange. Doctor Strange is one of my favorite characters in the MCU. I love the first movie. I loved him in Infinity War and Endgame and Multiverse of Madness. I can't wait to see more of him. He might be in Secret Wars. He's most likely going to be in Secret Wars and King Dynasty. We're most likely, like 99% going to get a third Doctor Strange movie. And Benedict Cumberbatch was born to play Doctor Strange. This is the character that he was born to play. And every single time Benedict Cumberbatch comes to the screen as Doctor Strange, I fall in love because his portrayal is so good. Chadwick Boseman, which sadly, rest in peace, Chadwick, T'Challa as Black Panther. He was born to play Black Panther. I was sad to see that he sadly passed away. I think the way they handled his character in Black Panther forever was kind of like a respectful way. I know a lot of people were upset that Disney decided to kill him off screen and decided not to continue him with a new actor. Continue the character with a new actor. They decided to kill off the character entirely. I understand where people are coming from, but there's nothing we could do. Disney decided to kill him off, that character, right? And to have Shuri become the new Black Panther. And so it is what it is. We can't do nothing about it. It was like a decision was made, and that was Disney's decision to be made. And if people wanted him to be recast, I respect those people, but it is what it is. We can't do nothing about it. All we can say is that he portrayed the character very, very well. Another character I want to talk about is Samuel L. Jackson as Nick Fury. He played him since the beginning of Iron Man. He's been in almost every single Marvel movie at the beginning of Phase 1. I should say he hasn't been in the MCU recently a lot. I think Samuel L. Jackson said in an interview that he was going to be in Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. So he might be in the movie or not. If he's not in the movie, they probably must have cut him out of the movie. But I do know for a fact that he will be in Secret Invasion on Disney Plus, which should come out, I think, before Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. So like March or April should come out. And I believe, he will also appear in The Marvels, which is a sequel to Captain Marvel. He's also going to be in Secret Invasion and The Marvels. But I believe I remember in an interview, if I remember correctly in an interview, he did say that he was going to appear in Quantumania. I have to wait and find out until I see the movie, and then we'll find out, and we will find out until we see the movie, or I see the movie and you guys see the movie, to see if Samuel L. Jackson's Nick Fury is in it. Correct me, I might be wrong. I do not know about it. If I remember correctly, like I said, I remember in an interview he did say that he was in Quantumania. We have to wait and see. Michael Caine as Alfred. Michael Caine played Alfred in the Dark Knight trilogy, and I think he did a phenomenal job as Alfred. His iteration as Alfred was so good, with Christian Bale obviously as Batman, and it is what it is. You know what I mean? That's why he was born to play Alfred. You know what I mean? Willem Dafoe as Norman Osborn, Green Goblin. Spider-Man: No Way Home delivered one of the best villains in superhero movies with Willem Dafoe's performance as Green Goblin. He did such a good job. Love to see him return. I love to see a lot of these actors from the previous films from Spider-Man show up in No Way Home. It was great to see everybody back, you know, like kind of like a reunion, you know what I mean? And his performance in the first Spider-Man movie was great as well. And I love him as Green Goblin. He was born to play. Love him as, a lot of these actors were born to play. I'm gonna keep using that word. Gary Oldman as Jim Gordon. He did such a great job in the Dark Knight trilogy. Was it Jim Gordon, or I think he did play Jim Gordon. I might be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah, man, Gary Oldman did such a great job playing that character. And in the new movies, he's played by, and not the new movies, but the Batman, he is played by, what is that actor's name? Can't think of the actor's name top of my head, but it'll probably come up to me right now. But yeah, I love the character and I love the performance from Gary Oldman. Tom Hardy as Bane. Oh yeah, Tom Hardy did such a great job as Bane in Dark Knight Rises. You know what I mean? The fight scenes in that movie with Batman were one of the most iconic fight scenes in comic book history. You know what I mean? And one of the great villains in the Batman franchise. And yeah, there's nothing else I can say. Michael Keaton as Bruce Wayne, Batman. Michael Keaton is Batman. You know what I mean? He's going to make his return in The Flash, which is a multiverse film. I love in the end of the trailer where he says, I'm Batman. You know what I mean? Like the whole, I'm Batman. Or, I'm Batman. I don't have a Batman voice, but anyways. I can't wait to see him back as Batman. Ben Affleck will be returning as Batman, but Ben Affleck is not one of my favorite Batmans. I have nothing against him. He was just not my. I don't like him as Batman. I know a lot of people do, and that's okay. That's their opinion, but my opinion is I didn't like Ben Affleck as Batman. Talking about Batman, Christian Bale as Bruce Wayne, Batman in the Dark Knight trilogy. He did such a great job, performance-wise. His version of Batman is my favorite Batman, actually. And I loved him in The Dark Knight Rises, and Batman Begins. And he was great, you know what I mean? He was also born to play Batman, I guess. Who knows? You know what I mean? But he was great as Batman. I don't know what else to say about that. Mark Ruffalo as Bruce Banner, the Hulk. Mark Ruffalo's performance as both Bruce Banner and Hulk are great, and I love him in the films. But the way Disney and Marvel Studios are handling the whole character in the MCU is very disappointing to me. After Endgame, Hulk became some type of... Actually, after Infinity War, Hulk became some type of joke. You know what I mean? And they need to change Hulk. Because in the first Avengers movie, Hulk was... I loved Hulk in the first Avengers movie. And in Age of Ultron. And even in Incredible Hulk. You know, even though I'm a huge fan of the Incredible Hulk, but I loved Hulk in that movie. And I don't understand why after those movies, after Infinity War, they gave up on Hulk. And the way they handled Hulk, even on She-Hulk, was not great. So whenever Hulk comes back, hopefully it's Hulk. The Hulk that we all know, not the Professor Hulk that we got in Endgame and She-Hulk and stuff like that. Rosemary Harris, who played Aunt May in the Sam Raimi Spider-Man trilogy with Tobey Maguire, her performance was so great. I loved her performance as Aunt May. Her interaction with Tobey Maguire, with Kristen Dunst and Uncle Ben was so great. You know what I mean? It was so great. You know what I mean? I loved her, and I loved the character Aunt May. And yeah, there's nothing much I could say about that. Michael B. Jordan as Eric Killmonger. Like he was one of the best villains in the MCU. I loved his return in Wakanda Forever. I love him as that character. His portrayal as Killmonger. Eric Killmonger is good. Michael B. Jordan does such a great job as a villain. His performance is great. I can't wait to see him in Creed 3. I'm so excited for Creed 3. You guys saw my video. Creed 3 is one of my most anticipated movies of this year. Can't wait to watch it. It's about to come out, like I think in March actually. So next month. And so I can't wait to watch Creed 3. But I do love Michael B. Jordan's performance as Eric Killmonger. Talking about Aunt May, Marissa Tomei's performance of Aunt May in the Spider-Man Home trilogy. You know, we call it Home because it's Homecoming, Far From Home, and Homecoming, so much it's called the Home trilogy. Her performance was so great. I loved her in all three films. Her chemistry with Robert Downey Jr. or Tony Stark was great in Homecoming. Her chemistry with Tom Holland was great as well. I loved her as that role. You know what I mean? Another one I want to talk about is Emma Stone as Gwen Stacy. I love her version of Gwen Stacy in The Amazing Spider-Man and The Amazing Spider-Man 2. Unfortunately, she died in that film, in Casting 2. Loved her performance. She did such a great job as Gwen Stacy. And yeah, these are all my perfect castings in comic book movies. Let me know in the comments below. There was a lot of actors who were so good. These were the ones that was top of my head, that I could think of. Obviously, there are more that I could not think of, but let me know in the comments below, who are your perfect castings in the comic book movies? Who do you think was perfectly cast in a comic book movie? Let me know in the comments below. Let me know who I forgot. Do you guys agree with my list? You might not agree with my list. If you guys do, that's okay. If you guys don't, that's great. Show me your list. Let me know in the comments below what's your guys' thoughts on the list. I want to thank you guys so much for your continuous support on my YouTube channel. Thank you for returning, for clicking on this video. If you guys enjoyed it, leave a like. And if you guys are new or returning, make sure you hit the subscribe button down below. Support me. If you guys want to support me, please do. I appreciate it very much. And I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace out.